Well, it's done. It took a long time to cross the T's and dot the I's, but the formalities are complete now. The paperwork is done. The file is closed. Mumbai becomes the fourth and final team to qualify this season. They scored 180 after being put into bat and have won by a mammoth 59 runs and go into the playoffs in style. They do, wiping Delhi off at the Wankhede today. Hello and welcome. You're watching Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur, with me Joy Bhattacharjya and Simon Doull. Joy, you visit Mumbai a lot. You've seen that Mumbai is full of streets which are one-way. Today, the Wankhede was a one-way street as well.
Yes, absolutely. This was a completely one-way street, and there weren't even any potholes to slow down Mumbai. They just went fast enough.
Then that's not Mumbai. Then that's not Mumbai.
BMC,
then you're giving example of some other city.
I found a street that BMC has not dug.
What?
It's possible. It happens. There's a street in your city which the BMC has not dug.
Where is this magic land Narnia that you speak of?
Okay, I have one more thing.
Yes.
The C-Link.
Yeah.
SPCT, the Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Tailenders. Please, can we have Bumrah not bowling at tailenders?
Yes.
It's not fair on them. It's
not fair.
Top batters in the world struggle with him. Why do poor Mustafizur? They should have just said, okay, no, 2 dot balls for you.
Yeah.
Next over.
Can I just add to that? You're saying it's not fair to tailenders. I don't even think it's fair to Jasprit Bumrah, right? Yeah. I don't think that they should be wasting him on. That's not right. That's like cannon to kill a fly.
Well, it's good for us because the game finished earlier.
Okay, so I'll take it back.
Yeah,
Please do it.
please do it
In fact,
more
they should burn him in quicker.
Please do it more
earlier.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah, wrap it up when it's so one-sided and brilliant from Mumbai. Absolutely brilliant. They found a way. As Sky said at the halfway stage, he thought 160. 165 sort of surface.
Yeah.
The spinners proved that was going to be more than enough.
Yep.
And we thought when the ball was turning a little bit for the Delhi bowlers that they were going to have trouble with Mumbai. And wicket to Jacks, wicket to Karan Sharma, 3 to Santner, Bumrah doing his thing. It was just an all-round quality performance.
This is what we talk about just bowlers, a bowling unit we speak about. It's just wholesome. Everybody contributes. And that's what happens when your batters can give you some runs, which they did today. It was a 160 kind of pitch. They got 180. And then the entire bowling unit just came together and performed so well. It was like a symphony.
Absolutely. And this is their most complete performance. Again, as we said, Will Jacks, it's a bit misleading because, he bowled a no ball because the captain had 3 fielders on one side.
Yeah.
But other than that, if you look at that entire unit, leave that 16 aside because that's just 1 over. 7.25, 7.33, 2.75, 3.6 and 2.75. Those figures are outstanding. And I thought it's today is one of those days where it's really difficult to say who bowled better, Santner or Bumrah, because some of the balls Santner bowled, the way he slowed down the pace, and it was classical, proper spin work. You as a fellow Kiwi, you must have been delighted.
Yeah, the way some of the deliveries he bowled, some of the deliveries he bowled today, actually he released yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They were like some of these blocked roads in the Mumbai taxi that you order yesterday and it arrives tomorrow.
Correct. Yes, that is true. Exactly what he did. He just used the conditions so well. So clever.
Yeah, it was a clever bowling performance all round. A really good effort the whole way through. As I say, I thought, conditions-wise, it suited them. But we were wondering how they would bounce back from such a long layoff.
Yeah.
Well, that's the performance. And it's a performance now that kind of worries the other teams in the playoffs, I think. I think the other teams in the playoffs would secretly be thinking, we'd quite like Delhi to win here. A fired-up Mumbai side is not a side we want to face.
True. Yeah.
So
well-oiled.
Yeah.
So clinical. They really have been clinical today. When you saw their batting effort, the first 18 overs, when they were batting, you were like, I don't know, man, maybe they're a little rusty. But just the way they finished and just carried that momentum into their bowling innings as well and just completely wiped Delhi off. And Delhi, no batter could actually even check in today. And that means that Mumbai, now, we've dealt the final Q and the final E today.
Absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
So mind your E's and Q's, sir, because there's the last one. Delhi now eliminated and Mumbai has taken that 4th spot. So Gujarat, Bangalore, Punjab and Mumbai, those are your 4 playoff teams. A round of applause for them, everybody.
Well done.
There you go. We have them. Is this, well, this is a question for Professor Joy. Is this one of the earliest stages of decision of the 4?
It's one of the earliest.
With 7 games to go?
Yeah, with 6 games to go. After this, I think there are 6 left after this.
Okay.
Yes, this early we haven't seen this much clear. But what is interesting though is you are seeing quite a competition for the top 2. A lot of times, 1 or 2 teams run away with it totally. This year, they're all bunched up there. So really, I mean, if Punjab and Mumbai have outstanding performances, they can also be top 2 teams. So all 4 are in the contention for top 2, which I think is interesting.
Let's bring that points table up again, because he's so right. Because all the winners of the trophy have always come from 1 or 2. Leave aside 1 year when SRH won it in 2016. They had not qualified in the top 2. But here you have... there's two games left for Gujarat, Bangalore and Punjab. Just the 1 left for Mumbai, which means potentially they can only get to 18.
Mumbai is the toughest.
So for Mumbai, it's the toughest.
Their game is against Punjab, I think.
Yeah.
Their game is against Punjab.
Yeah.
So we could still have not a dead rubber and all to play for with that game that happens, even in the 6 games that we have left. But at this point in time, who's looking like your top 2 contender?
Oh, goodness me. I mean, I've been with Punjab. Before the tournament started, I picked them to win it.
Yeah.
Now, I'm pleased that at least they've got an opportunity now because they've made the top 4. Do they still look the strongest side? I'm unsure. I'm unsure. I love what they have to offer at the top of the order. I think Priyansh and Prabh Simran and Shreyas are doing a great job. Decent bowling attack. But you look at that table now and you think Gujarat and Mumbai probably look the stronger sides at this stage. Gujarat losing Butler is a massive thing.
Yep.
And Bengaluru, if they don't get Hazelwood back,
Yeah.
I think is a big loss for them. So, I mean, dare I say it, could this be the year that if Mumbai, even if they don't get any higher than 4th, that a 4th place team could win it? Because they, to me, look like the most complete side in the tournament at the moment.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, they'll have a personal change after the next. Bairstow comes in for Rickleton.
Yep.
And I mean, the other 2, I don't see them playing first 11, but I mean...
For Jacks, isn't it?
Yeah, no, for Jacks.
For Jacks.
For Jacks and for Rickleton also there's a replacement.
So there's no Rickleton, no Jackson, no Bosch.
Yes.
Right.
So Gleeson is in, Bairstow is in.
Yes, Bairstow's in. And Dasan Shanika?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think...
Asalanka, sorry, not Shanika, Asalanka.
Charita Asalanka.
Yeah, so Asalanka's there.
Yeah.
They will feel, Jacks, they will mind that.
I just feel like they're losing a little bit with his bowling. And I know that 1 of 16 doesn't say much, but most of the times he's bowled this year, he's actually been pretty good for them. There was, I think, 1 game where he got collared in one particular over for 30, but outside of that, he's picked up wickets for them. He's done a pretty good job. So it's their bowling, I think they'll miss. They've got the batting covered. And bringing Bairstow in is certainly not going to dampen anything. Rickleton's had an okay season, been good behind the stumps tonight. So bringing Bairstow in for him, I don't think is much of a muchness. They're not losing out too much on that.
Who's their wicketkeeper?
Well, it'll have to be Johnny.
Yeah, Bairstow can
So Johnny Bairstow is going to be instead of Rickleton, of course.
Instead of Rickleton.
Yeah, I was saying in the squad, I don't think they have any other as is.
I think they have
In the squad.
Among the Indian domestics, they have a keeper. I think that's it.
They have another keeper.
Robin Mins?
Mins.
Robin Mins. But you're right. Like for like. I mean, you get Johnny Bairstow in, he can open the batting and he can be your wicket keeper. I just don't know how much white ball he's played.
He's coming off a county championship in the UK at the moment, but he's been batting really well. Last 4 scores, I think he's got 3 half centuries. His last 4 innings in the county championship, so 4-day stuff.
Yeah,
but at a good rate. They've just finished a game against Surrey where he got runs. The game before that, they had to put on some runs quickly, and he went out and sort of scored a runner ball 70 or 80. So he's playing cricket.
Yeah,
he's coming off some
but in
form,
terms of,
which is a good sign. I think.
I was saying with T20 cricket, I don't think he's played since the World
No.
Cup. So that's close to about 10 months that he hasn't played. But he's a solid player.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's a worry for another day. Today we'll just talk about what Mumbai has done, and we're talking about one-way roads. And what Mumbai has done is pretty much that. When you go into a no entry, see a policeman, and then take a U-turn, which is exactly what they did with their season. They had won just 1 game. They had 2 points at the end of 5 games. Everyone thought, that's it, their season is done. And then that's it, just green lights on the highway for them.
No, this is a typical Mumbai report card.
Yeah.
Right at the start, you'll see a lot of red because, they never start well.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, you see lots of green, lots of, distinction, one with distinction, this thing. And I think that's been their template. That's why they've won 5 also. They tend to peak at the right time. They never start well, but they sort of get their act together and put it together. And I'll tell you one thing, the one advantage I'll give Mumbai over Gujarat, okay, and because those look like the top 2 sides at this point in time, is the fact that though, you've seen Surya Kumar Yadav score a lot of runs for them, it's still not a 1-man or a 2-man. I feel they have a little bit more depth.
Absolutely.
Than the rest,
Yes.
Whereas I think that Gujarat is very dependent on their top 3.
They've had great contributions, haven't they, from the likes of Tilak, from Namandir today. Rohit's found form. At times, Jacks or Rickleton. They've had...
Pandya's had a couple of good innings.
Yeah, Sky, Hardik. They've had performances across the board.
True.
And I think that's been one of the standouts for Mumbai. Sky's now, that's another one over 25. We had his stats up, so that's 13.
Yeah, innings over 25.
Over 25.
Consecutive.
Which is just phenomenal.
And he's number 3 in the list, isn't he? He's number 3 behind Sudarshan and Shubman Gill.
Yeah. So that's outstanding. Some of that, 7 wins in their last 8 matches, some of it coincided with Bumrah not playing the early games.
Yeah.
And then they just found their mojo. And when you've got Bumrah in your side, the guys at the other end benefit more because they have to go harder at a Bolt or a Chahar or a spinner at the other end because they know that they're not going to get. Very rarely does Bumrah go for more than 30.
Yeah.
So you kind of mark him down between 20 and 30 on a good day. So they know that they have to go harder at the guy at the other end, and that creates opportunities and wickets for him.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest plus points for having Bumrah in your side. So bowling attack sorted, fielding, pretty good. Couple of work-ons tonight, but they've just got a well-rounded side, and they just...
So is it safe to say then out of the top 4, they're the ones who are looking like the most cohesive batting unit and the most rhythmic bowling unit?
I
just
think
overall unit?
As a combination, as a full unit, I think they've got every base covered.
Yeah, that's it. You look at it and you can't find any hole there, right? Like with Gujarat, you say, the middle order's not got too much time in the sun. With Bangalore, you say, man, some of the batters not in form. Hazelwood not there now, so that's a big loss for them. With Punjab, again, you're saying, I don't know, is the bowling a full unit? Is the batters, are you getting stuff from the late middle order? With them, you can't punch a hole in this.
No, you can't. And look, but the truth is, they had this same side and did nothing last year.
Yeah.
Very close. But I think they made a couple of very strategic changes. One of them is, they never had decent spinners. In the last 2 years, Mumbai has struggled because they haven't had spinners. This year, Santner definitely, and you can see today what a class act he is, and he has been for CSK for a while, though he's never got enough chances because of the way CSK lines up normally. But also Will Jacks, he's given them something. So they've had a couple of quality spinners in the track, and then Karan Sharma the ageless Karan Sharma has come along and given them something.
Yeah, and we know how superstitious they can be. Yeah. And I've said this before on the show, that they've never ever won a title without a New Zealand left-arm seamer in their attack.
Yeah.
All 5 titles have come with either James Franklin, Mitchell McClenaghan or Trent Bolt.
Wow.
And they bought Bolt back from Rajasthan.
There you go. That's what it is.
And they are quite, they can be...
who's the next New Zealand left-arm spin?
I don't know whether there's too many coming off the ranks.
Because if in auction 2025...
Bolt's got another year or 2.
Yeah, exactly.
So
2027 auction, I think.
if there's a
with this guy for them.
Yeah.
If there's a left armer who's probably a spinner right now in New Zealand,
Start practice.
Just take a longer run up. 125, 130 is fine, right? You're coming into the team on Feng Shui quota, all right?
That's it.
Yeah, 125 does the trick. Come on, ka-ching. Let's do it. All right. Well, of course, we're talking about the left-arm spinner, the Kiwi, who did superbly today. He's our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas, Shor Kam Kam Zada. We're talking about Mitchell Santner. Look at these figures. 4 overs, 11 runs. He's bowled 16 dot balls. I called it. I told you he's going to bowl dot balls today, and he's done it. But that's insanity, Joy.
Absolutely.
That's insanity.
Super bowling. And see what he did so beautifully was he turned one past the bat. Then they didn't know whether they want to go forward or backward. Then he'll pitch it up. Then they'll come forward a little bit more. Then he'll pull them forward and then get a stumping. He played with them. He toyed with them. And it was lovely to watch because it's very rare that in a T20 game you see a spinner so dominant.
Yeah.
And he could have been in bowling in a test match and they would have still been just as clueless.
Yeah.
Because they just didn't know how to play him.
He was playing chess length with them.
Yeah.
Right?
Look, his mentor, he learnt so much from Daniel Vettori, who was a very similar bowler in white ball cricket. The ability to delay his action a touch and just bowl a similar line and length, 18 to 20 kilometres per hour different.
Yeah.
And that's his greatest skill. He's one of the best defensive white ball spinners in the world, I think, at the moment. And the ability to turn the ball when there's something on offer, it just brings him into his own because he's so tall.
Yeah.
He gets that bounce, but it's more than anything. You talk to any batter that faces him, and they say you just never quite feel like you are there.
Yeah.
You can't quite. It might look like you can get to it, and you can't get to it. And that's sort of his greatest asset at the moment. And he's he's enjoyed a pretty good time of it in India in the last little while, hasn't he? The last 8 months or
series,
so.
Yes.
So he understands conditions well. It looks to me like he. I know MS Dhoni loved him at Chennai. He really loved him as a part of the group, but he just couldn't. They couldn't find a way to get him in there when they had Jadeja or when they had other options. They had Theekshana for a bit, didn't they? So they had options there. They just couldn't find a way to play him regularly enough. He looks to me like he's really enjoying this Mumbai setup and enjoying. You see him in the group in the huddle and in and around the likes of Hardik and Tilak and Sky and those guys, and you see him really enjoying it.
Yeah.
They call him flatline, slinky, flatline. He's just so emotional. He's just like that. Nothing phases him.
Yeah.
And that's what brings him so much success. But he's highly, highly skilled bowler, and we just saw a glimpse of that tonight.
There's some bowlers who you just look at and there's a thing like they understand the game. They just understand it like a few % more than somebody around them. Just their game awareness just makes them better.
Absolutely. Game awareness is so much. Game awareness for spinners especially is angles. Okay, how much is it turning? So this is where I'm going to go. This is how I can get past the bat. This is the length that he's going to come forward to. And it's a very finely tuned thing. And as I said, he's just so good at it. And I'm so glad. I mean, it's the same thing, Everyone at CSK would rave about him, but he wouldn't get chances to play.
Yeah, it's very rare that you play 2 left-arm finger spinners in one team. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Whereas here, it works out really well.
It worked out perfectly for them. And I think Mumbai has lacked that spinner for the last 2-3 years, and now they've got that spinner.
And wow, and he's got them. He's got them right back. He was fantastic today. And Mitchell Santner, our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas. Shor Kam Zyada. Those are just dream figures for somebody, especially at the Wankhede. 4 overs for 11 runs and 3 wickets. He's just fantastic. Let's just take a moment to talk about Delhi, who's got eliminated today. Where did it go so wrong for them? Because they've done a U-turn as well. They were just cruising, and then it's like the wheels came off. Simon?
Yeah, it's hard to put your finger on. I mean, outside of KL and Tristan Stubbs, they're batters. I'm not sure what the next most runs would be from a batter, but it would be in the low 200s at best, I think. So they haven't had the batting power that has sort of been able to put good scores on the board in a consistent style. From a bowling point of view, I think obviously Stark not coming back has made a little bit of a difference, but whether he would have made enough difference tonight, I don't know on that particular surface. But they've not found a combination, Delhi, which you looked and you thought, in the squad, you thought there was a combination there, but they just haven't found it and it hasn't gelled together well enough in the back end of the season because it all looked so promising at the start for them. So they've just fallen away and it's almost one tight loss has made them lose their belief.
Yeah. Just got derailed after that.
Well, a lot of things. I mean, you look at it today. And again, I want to say, look at that start. 4 and then that Mumbai lost. Then they won Rajasthan, but that was they just sneaked that win in. Gujarat they lost and then Lucknow was a decent win. But after that, they've just gone off the boil. And I'll say one thing. Today, if you look at their batting, they came in And what did we say? This is a pitch for batters. That means, what does the Suryakumar Yadav do? He says, I want to bat for 20 overs because only then can I...
Stick around, basically.
Stick around. Okay? So you got a pitch where you're saying that only way of getting runs out here is to stick around. What do? You send in at 4 or 5, you send in Vipraj Nigam, who's a nice guy, but Abhishek Porel, Samir Rizvi, Vipraj Nigam, are you telling me these are classier players than somebody like a Tristan Stubbs? Okay? Or even Ashutosh Sharma, who I actually rate quite highly. My point is that on a pitch where you think that the batters who will do well to score runs need to be there for a while, you don't send guys in who just whack it, because you send those on pitches which are featherbeds. And
or you send them in the end after everyone's kind of done the hard work and say, all right, give us that. It was just today, and Joy and I spoke about this in the comm box. We felt that just their batting order, and I know we spoke about Kolkata doing this so much this season, right? But how the batting order just seemed a little muddled. Strategically, this didn't make sense considering what the game situation was and what the conditions were.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was all about batsmanship tonight. You saw those that had a bit of success had some batsmanship about them. It wasn't just about, striking the ball. I know Namandir's innings at the back end was purely striking, but most of the work was done leading up to that. I think if we looked at the Mumbai innings, what were they, after 11 or 12 overs, I think they were 110 for 3. And when you're talking about a 160 surface, that's actually a really good score. Whereas Delhi was so far behind that rate, and they'd lost a lot of wickets in the process. So
they were 66 for 5 when we at the end of the 10th over.
Yeah, well, there's the
there you go,
numbers.
66 for 5. Yes.
So it was it was really tough for them to. So Mumbai earned that 13.2 at the back end, because you look at the wickets, 2, 1, 1. So they didn't lose wickets. They preserved their wickets so that they could actually get to a point where 150, 160 was a guarantee. And with some powerful hitting, 180 was an option. And they got the powerful hitting. Whereas you felt that Delhi just didn't understand that situation as well. Look, hand up as well. It was a quality bowling performance. It wasn't easy. I don't think it was ever going to be an easy chase, because we felt Mumbai were well and truly ahead of the 8 ball with the runs they had on the board, but they could have done better.
See, the truth is that in this pitch, the moment you lose Faf and Rahul, you're up against it. Because if you're looking at 2 batters who can play 20 overs and maybe even mount a challenge, it would have been those 2. Once they got those 2...
And again, when you think of both their dismissals, again, with that kind of experience, for Faf to hold out like that, to long on with knowing long on his back on the boundary, KL Rahul was just ugly, that's not his kind of shot. His one hand coming off his bat. So
it was great planning on the Faf wicket. I mean, I said that Faf might have something against Deepak Chahar. Well, I mean, how's Deepak Chahar thinking, if I bowl there, I'm going to have a long on back inside the power play? Very rarely do you see an opening bowler with a long on back in play. So, as you said, Joy, earlier, he likes that sort of step hit shot down the ground. And Chahar's just read him like a book. And he's picked that man straight. I thought it was over the top for 4. And you said, no. You're back there. You said, no. He's out of the circle. Like, straight into the hand.
As soon as I saw the ball go, I was like, whoa, hang on. Where's that guy?
Where's that guy?
Where's that guy? Oh, no, he's back.
So, so there's some good planning, some good thinking on that part. But that Delhi lineup today, that batting lineup today, just doesn't look anywhere near like a quality of so many of the other batting lineups in this competition. When I look through it, it's not a batting lineup that would frighten you too much. You've got Faf, who is sort of right at the end of his career, not playing any international cricket, so it's only going to be, I think it's only going to be worse next year, dare I say it, because he's been a great player. But without playing international cricket, he's only going to be worse next year. So where do they find that talent from next year? The Fraser McGurk experiment just did not work for them. Karan Nair, they tried. It didn't work. Out again today. So they were all over the place with that batting order.
Wasn't it their 8th opening combination now in 13 games?
Yeah, 18.
This was their 8th. That's
way too many.
That's way too many.
It's way too many, and I think, we've seen it. Teams, look, one causes the other, of course. If you're not doing well as a team, you also mess around with batting positions. Sometimes injury causes it, but I think a lot of it is teams panicking too early and saying, you know what, I'm going to move it around. And Mumbai, think the way they started, they could have turned around and said, we want to make big changes. They didn't. They stuck to their guns. They said, this is our shape.
Yeah.
This is the shape that we thought of at the start of the season. Barring injury, this is how we'd play.
Actually, that's true. I don't think, which are the other batters there who've come in? All these guys have played all the games. I can't think of anyone else who has. No, this has been their squad.
Yeah, it's pretty much been their squad.
Yeah, their batting's definitely been this.
I think Jacks might have missed out on a game or two.
But that's it.
Jacks has missed out on a game or two. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. I remember he was not there for a game. Yeah. But otherwise, it's just, there was a forced change. I think he was it a niggle or I don't think they dropped him.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
But let's say
they've crossed over Bosch and Santner a couple of times, and that's about it.
But that's it. But their batting has just been.
It's been solid.
And there's to have Vignesh come in when there was a little bit of spin, leg spin required. Karan Sharma,
Ashwini came to bowl. Correct. Yeah.
Ashwini, Vignesh, they flipped a bit. But that's it. They played with a very settled unit. So there was one piece that they fitted in, extra spinner in these conditions, extra fast bowler in these conditions. That's it.
Yeah. Well, at this point, they're looking like they're road rolling everybody else, right? They're looking in great form, and there's 3 teams ahead of them who are saying, wait a second, objects in the rearview mirror may be closer than they appear. And that's what's happening to the Mumbai team right now. Okay, well, we've got one game tomorrow. It's interesting, but let me tell you before that game is that you can make your team as well on Cricbuzz 11. So do that. Grand prize of 2.2 crores, which you can win. So you can only do that if you make your team. Log on to Cricbuzz 11 and do that. So have a look at the game that's happening tomorrow. This is happening in Ahmedabad. Gujarat is hosting the Lucknow team. 2 old pals facing off against each other. I'm talking about Ashish Nair and Zaheer Khan. Yeah, the best of friends against each other. For Lucknow, again, this has been a season that they'd like to forget, especially for their captain. This has really been a season he'll want to put behind him. Best way to put it behind is to have a stellar game tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, they're on a hiding to nothing. It's been a poor season for them, culminated in that game the other day. I mean, Rishabh Pant has he hasn't found either. What's he got? 124 runs or 125 runs, I think.
128 was it?
Is it? Yeah.
If I remember correct, but 120s.
120s in the season. Puran started brilliantly. He had 31 sixes after 5 games.
Yeah.
He's going to finish the season with something about 34 or 35.
Yeah, he's in 34, 35.
He's hit another 4 since game number 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah.
So he's fallen off. The highlight's been Markram with the bat.
Marsh to a certain extent.
Marsh to an extent has been good, but they lost the core of their bowling attack through injury. It's just been a tough season for them.
Yeah. If you look at their team tomorrow, is there any players there in the squad that you'd like to see? I mean, there's Digvesh Rati who has been sent a letter saying you cannot play tomorrow.
Not allowed,
Exactly.
I think that's just, I don't like that. I got to tell you, I'm not a fan of that. But anyway, he won't be there tomorrow, so...
I look, there are 2...
Mani Maran?
So I see Shahbaz Ahmed. Shahbaz Ahmed is quite a decent cricketer.
Oh, interesting. Yes,
Shahbaz can... And he's decent with the bat as well. He gives you a bit more variety. So I see Shahbaz coming in tomorrow almost certainly for Digvesh. The rest...
I'd like to see Hangar Gekar playing.
Yeah, I'd love to see him get a game, actually. He looked promising at that Under-19 World Cup. I think he worked hard at Chennai, had a couple of little injuries. I think he got 1 maybe game last year. I still think he's got a talent. He's a real powerful young man,
guy,
a really strong young man. So it'd be nice to see him get a game. And there's no reason why they couldn't. I mean, they could leave Akashdeep or Avish out and give him a game, just to say, look, we want to see. We want to see whether you can do something. So that might be something they'll look at.
Okay, player to watch out for from this team?
I think their fortunes. I mean, normally I keep saying Puran, but I want to see Markram because I think he's played brilliantly for them this year. I mean, the way he's changed his game to sort of fit into this Lucknow setup has been fantastic. He's been amazing. So Markram for me definitely from that side.
Well, I'm going to be keeping an eye on Rishabh Pant, the captaincy, and simply how he wants to finish the season because it's been an awful one. From a batting point of view, he is way better than he's shown. So I'll be keeping an eye on him tomorrow just to see whether he can finish the season on a bit of a higher note.
Yeah. I mean, they've got 2 games left. They've got this game and then the one after that. So there's 2 chances for Rishabh Pant to kind of just check into the tournament because he hasn't so far. Well, let's have a look at the Gujarat team now. And the Gujarat team, it's looking nice. So Jos Buttler's still there tomorrow. So Jos Buttler will be available for both games.
Yeah, and I think they won't mess with it because it's the first, second place issue.
Yeah.
So they're not going to try anyone else.
Yeah, but they can't also. So his
they
replacement...
can't play
gone.
Kushal
They
Mendes
can't
before
play
that.
Kushal until he's
Kushal
gone.
Mendes can't play till Jos Buttler, till they see him boarding the flight. So he can't play till then. But otherwise, this team looks settled to you?
I would like to, definitely I'd like to see Washington Sundar try it because I feel that he's talented enough. See, again, we talk about this. This is a team whose batting has not failed.
Yep.
And whenever it happens, you ask yourself, you know, the law of averages are going against it. At some point in time, you're going to have it. So other batters have to come to the party, and I feel that they play a lineup with very few batters. So I think it's very important for them to see what Washington Sundar can do for them because I feel they need another batter in that setup.
I think the only way he comes into the side is probably for Tewatia. And they're not.
No, he's a talisman.
Well, he's that guy. I mean, he'll go through a season, only get you 100 runs, but 80 of them will be very important. You know, and we sort of, you always find that game that Tewatia gets you home.
Yeah.
Or Tewatia wins for you. He does a Tewatia. So it's a tough one because I like Washi. I think he's a terrifically talented cricketer. He's going to offer you bowling. I think he bats a lot more conventional, but is a very good batter than a Tewatia. But does he do what he can do at the end of the innings?
Yeah, but you're right.
Who else could he come in for?
Otherwise Shah Rukh. Because Shah Rukh, I mean, if your designated finisher is Tewatia, then perhaps Washi gives you a bit more variety than Shah Rukh. Because Shah Rukh again he's again promised to deceive every year.
Yeah.
He shows you he's tantalizing. He hit one big 6, and then you think, okay, this is his year, and then...
They haven't had a lot out of Shafane Rutherford either. In the middle. He's another one that they've had very little return from. So, you know, look, if the best 4 teams, at some stage with Buttler gone, that middle order will be exposed.
True.
In one of these games, that middle order will be exposed. And how do they stand up? That is going to be their biggest test.
All right, player to watch out for from this team?
Well, I just mentioned, I suppose, someone like Rutherford. You know, the middle order, someone in the middle order, they've got to stand up if they get the opportunity, which lately has not been happening very much.
Yeah.
to
like,
be honest.
Give me a chance to bat first.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go for Rutherford as well, but if not, I just want to see Sai Sudarshan get one more good knock.
Okay, excellent. Well, I just want to tell you that before we wrap that up, there's something that Surya said in the post-match because he's won the player of the match and he said, it's been 13 games now. He says, my wife told me a sweet story. She said, you won every award except the player of the match. So this award is special today. From the team's point of view, the knock was important. And also this trophy is for my wife. She waits for such moments and we celebrate it. So looking forward to it.
And another cake. She always bakes a cake for him.
Yeah?
When they win. She's always got a cake waiting for him when they win.
That's excellent. Does he get a slice of it though? He just cuts it, that's all, because he looks pretty fit.
Yeah, I know he still looks fit, but I think he just works it off.
That's right. A good way to work it off. Lots and lots of singles, stick around and then hit a few 6s in the end. So, yeah, they've done well today. All right, we've got the joy factor question. We're all waiting for the answer on that.
Okay, good one. 21st of May. And on 21st of May, a batter set a league record. It happened in 2009. And the batter was, of course, Manish Pandey, youngest Indian to score a century in this league. And of course, this year, Vaibhav Suryavanshi broke it by about... Manish was 19 in a few months. Vaibhav is 14 in a few months.
Yeah, not even close.
He broke it by about 5 years.
Amazing. And our winner? Who's our winner? Let's see. Bring it. Okay. Pushkar Kale. Congratulations. Pushkar Kale, you're our winner today, so there you go. Guessing game?
No, thanks. No, I've got to go.
I've got urgent appointments.
I've got a point.
Let's just look at that leaderboard and see Murli Karthik's smug.
Am I still ahead of Harshad? That's what I'm saying. I'm just fractionally ahead of Harsha, but I'll go behind Harsha.
Oh, wow. Jeez, what is this?
Well, you're
man?
all right. Yeah. What do you?
Yeah.
Did you ever win?
No.
No.
I did.
Everybody lost.
Yeah, everybody lost. Look at that. 20. My God.
Gaurav,
It's my last day on Friday. I'm going to have a good day.
Karthik is really looking at you, saying, he's challenging you, Gaurav.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
saying something to you.
I'll get him. I say enough stuff to him, so the only way he can say stuff to me is in a picture. When he can't hear me. All right, well, that's it. That's all we have time for. We're going to scoot out of here.
2 days.
What about 2 days?
Back in 2 days.
You're back. Oh, yeah. You're doing your...
I'm the buzz.
Have you seen Karate Kid? Wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
Wax on, wax off. Wax on, wax off.
I'm the bud tomorrow. Back in studio Friday.
Excellent.
So
We will see you soon.
you'll see us soon.
You travel well. I'm not here on Fridays, so
Okay.
come in, do your bit, get both guesses wrong.
Yeah.
Stay down. Don't threaten my position. I don't ask anything from you.
Okay.
Right? Or if you are going to get it right, then make sure you go above Murli
Above
Karthik. All right? Just don't come sit in the middle of us.
No.
Because nobody gets in the middle
Nobody
of Karthik and me. All right? He is mine. I shall take him.
Okay, this is okay. This is you.
Yeah,
I
it
think
was-
you've said a little bit more than you would have wanted
but
to.
wasn't there so many confusing emotions? You were like, what is
I know,
going on
I
here?
know.
Is this love? Is this
This
lust?
is very
Is this
Tarantino-ish.
enemy?
It's got everything in it.
Yeah, what is this? What's going on?
That's a Delhi thing.
That's right. I think Tarantino is from Delhi. Could be. It's twisted enough. All right, well, that's all we have time for. Joy Bhattacharjya and Simon Doull, thank you so much, gentlemen. Always fun with you. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Voltas Presents Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So do join us then. Good night for now.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ Hyderabad Express Railway Station, Netaji Bhavan.